Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you. This is James Shelton, your instructor, coming to you on this late Tuesday evening or sometime Wednesday, whenever you get a chance to catch this video. This is an important video where I'm going to lay out your big project for this course. All throughout, there will be weekly assignments and discussion forums for you to post in, but also along the way, we're going to be building our Capstone project. So I have shared my screen with you here in this video, and I'm going to go to the assignments tab over here on the left, and we're just going to kind of walk through the first couple of parts of this assignment. The assignment is broken up into 5 individual parts, and then culminating in your final capstone project, which will be due the final week of the course, which we will get to in short order. If I click on capstone activity 1, which is due next week, not this week, but next week, week 2, you have at the top an overview of the capstone assignment. So for each one of these capstone activities, you're going to begin building your capstone assignment for the course. The final product will be a collection of 6, what we're going to call elevator pitches, based on the 6 acts of God's story outlined in your textbook, The Drama of Scripture. If you're unfamiliar with the term elevator pitch, it's defined as a succinct and persuasive sales pitch. And the goal of the assignment project is to create a persuasive and engaging retelling of each act in the biblical story. The final version of this is due at the end of the course. The guidelines for the final project can be found in the course center, and I will go over those briefly after this video. Now, I need to sort out something with you right here early on so as to avoid extra work for you or any confusion. In your New Testament, there is a document in the New Testament called Acts of the Apostles, or you may know it simply as Acts. Okay, it is situated right after the 4 Gospels in the New Testament: Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and then you have this document called Acts. It's a historical document. It talks about the church in the first 20 to 30 years following the ascension of Jesus. Now, anytime any of these assignments ask you to reflect on Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, Act 5, or Act 6, notice it's singular, and it is not referring to any chapter in the book of Acts. All right. So I want to kind of get that out of the way very early on, because there has been in the past and could be some confusion for you. But the 6 acts of God's story are these. Act 1 is creation. Act 2 is the fall. Act 3 is what your authors call redemption initiated, or simply put, Israel. Okay, so we have creation, fall, Israel. Act 4 is redemption accomplished, or you can simply say that Act 4 is Jesus, and that will focus primarily on the 4 Gospels. Act 4, Jesus. Act 5, the church. Okay, and that's going to really take on the rest of the New Testament. Act 5, excuse me. See, I just did it. Act 5, and then you have Act 6, which is new creation, new heavens, new earth. I don't want to bombard you with all of this here at the beginning. You're going to be reading about it in your book, but just to kind of let you know what we're expecting. So for this first capstone activity that is due by November 5, okay, we're wanting you to answer the following questions and begin your research. Okay, now what's going to be really important here, and many students leave valuable points on the table. This could be the difference between a letter grade in this course. It could be the difference between an A or a B, or a B or a C, and we don't really want to talk about anything below that. But here we have 5 questions for you to engage with. And again, can you summarize what takes place in Acts 1 and 2? We are not talking about chapters 1 and 2 of the book of Acts. We are talking about creation and fall. All right? So that's something that happens in Genesis chapter 1, Genesis chapter 2, and Genesis chapter 3, and so forth and so on. Okay? Now, each time we make sure to put in parentheses the act that we're referring to. Okay? Answer these questions. None of these first 5 assignments need to be polished. Your raw notes will be fine. All right? The polished version will be due at the end of the course. And again, I'm just going to go over what that polished version we're wanting that to look like, but I'm going to leave it alone for now, okay? So what we're looking for here is for you to engage these. Be sure to cite your sources. If you use your textbook, if you use the Bible, you need to be doing that when discussing specific parts of the drama of Scripture or the story, okay? All right? So that's just a beginning look into this. And what you're going to have is each of these has a different act. So like the Capstone Activity 2 is going to be over Act 3, and then so forth and so on. So you see what we're doing. We're building you a great base for you to draw upon for the final project. Now, very quickly, because I don't want these videos to go on for too long, and I have a tendency to ramble in these videos, but I want to look over just to go over what we're looking for. And by the way, these other learning activities that you're doing, it's going to be a great thing for you, okay, to start writing all of your papers, all of the activities in Times New Roman font. Size 12, double spaced, all of them, okay? Go ahead and get in the habit. Times New Roman font, size 12, double spaced, okay? Again, anytime you cite your textbook or other course resources, you use what is called MLA format. Simply put, it's in-text citations, which you do in parentheses. Okay, so if you're citing from your textbook, you can simply say Bartholomew and Goheen, comma, page, so forth and so on. And then if that's the only source that you're using throughout this, you don't have to say Bartholomew and Goheen every time. But if you change to another source and then go back to Bartholomew and Goheen, then you have to do it again, because it could become confusing. Which resource are you talking about? Which source? So, but I don't want to belabor that too much on these activities for each week, and I'll give you some feedback on that. Now, each act of the drama of Scripture should be summarized in 500 words, resulting in a minimum 3,000 word paper. Again, Times New Roman font, size 12, double spaced, the citing, and we're going to be looking real hard at college level grammar and syntax. I cannot stress this enough. Please make use of the online writing lab here at Point, which is available for you. And they can help you. They can spend the time to really dig into your paper and just and I certainly will as well. But they are there to proof it for you before you even submit it. So I would recommend that you use them for any of your papers that have a kind of a feeling about. Send it on over to the online writing lab, and they'll be able to help you with that. Okay. So again, this video is already longer than I wanted it to be, but I did want to get this out to you. If you have any questions at all about anything in this course, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, james.shelton@point.edu, or you can email me here on Canvas, and I'll get back to you very, very quickly, okay? All right, I'm going to be checking in again with you probably on Thursday just to see how you're doing. Let's get into the textbook. Let's get into our learning activity, and let's get into the forum for this week, and let's start engaging with one another over these topics. It's going to be a wonderful time that we're going to have together. You can do this. Keep on going, and I'll check in with you soon. Bye-bye.